Hello everybody, my name is Cory, and you're listening to The Story with Cory. Today I have on a super awesome guest, a returning guest, my friend Kenny Bechtel.
Hi, nice to meet you again.
Kenny is a local author that has written the wonderful book, The Knight of Iaddash. You might have seen us be posting nonstop about it, as we are currently working on our audio drama of said book. In fact, should we give him a little bit of a trailer?
If you're up for it, I am.
Check it out.
In the land of Gesantine, where nations coexisted in relative peace, one man sought to stand above the rest. Standing in his castle high above the land of Mammon stood Agar, the undying wizard, seeking to play God.
I stabbed him! I thought I could kill him, but I was wrong. It should have killed him!
Nothing can kill Agar. Hundreds of years may pass, but Agar shall still remain. Nothing, except perhaps a prophecy and a sword.
From the darkness shall arise a knight of might and valor, and by the sword of Iaddash shall come Agar's last hour.
Called by a god he is yet to know, Kassa, a guardsman of Agar, finds himself at the center of prophecy and destined for conflict.
I want to be free. I want to put down the sword and live my life in peace, far from the gaze of Agar.
Join Kassa along with his friends, Agape, the prophet.
The Knight of Iaddash! He comes!
What do you mean he comes?
I don't know. That's all Iaddash told me.
And Stratia, the ex-chieftain.
You know what this means for your people, I presume.
I can get you the sword. I'll find you the pieces. Just stay away from the glory bites.
Who will live?
Let him go!
Who will die?
Wait! Stop!
And who will hold the sword?
Show me the Knight of Iaddash!
It glows. Well, I'd rather not wear out my second chances.
You are a traitor! You don't belong here! Glory to the Glory!
Pastry?
And that was our wonderful trailer for The Knight of Iaddash. So, what inspired you to write The Knight of Iaddash?
What inspired me to write The Knight of Iaddash? Well, in high school, I was in Spanish class, and I was not listening to my teacher. I did get a good grade. I got a very good grade, actually. I think I got like an A or a B. However, my mind was mostly consumed by like me imagining stories, and one of those stories, the main story, ended up being what would eventually become the Knight of Iaddash, which was kind of like a faith fantasy idea. Kind of at first on like, oh, the armor of God, everything had different like powers, but then eventually I just summarized it down to really cool sword, and eventually a green mist came from that sword, and then the mind wouldn't stop. So, what inspired me was just a lot of different thoughts and imaginations that I've had. I love the Chronicles of Narnia. Back in high school, I haven't read all of them at that point, but I did have a couple of them, read. So there was a few of them that I read. But as I continued to write it, I did read more of the Narnia series, and I love the Narnia series so much. There's also some Star Wars stuff in there, kind of just like the campiness of it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know.
Well, so you wrote this, you just released it.
Yes.
And what made you want to go further with it into an audio drama?
Well, I think one of the major things is when I am imagining a story, I am very visual. I'm a very visual person. And now, I'd love it to be a movie or something like that, but that's like a way above my pay grade. So I was thinking, well, what's the next best thing? I'd like people to be able to hear my characters. I'd like people to be able to hear the action, the adventure, the music. I mean, again, I said Star Wars is something that inspires me, especially like the old classic Star Wars, like the Clone Wars and all that. The music, John Williams, Kevin Kiner, so good. I love having like grand epics being told with good soundtracks. So that's kind of one of the inspirations. I know that you are a great musician, and I also knew that you were able to do, you did Jekyll and Hyde audio drama, so I put them together, and this is what we got. We got an audio drama coming up, so.
Nice. And if you want to find out more about the audio drama, the link for the Kickstarter will be in the description, and we have a whole other video detailing our rewards that we have for that, including this awesome plushie.
I've deemed that the rewards cast.
That is rewards cast. So go check that out. We won't bore you with all that here. So you want to make this into an audio drama. You hit me up. And what next? Our process was what?
Well, I think the next thing was, a
lot of editing, actually.
We should say casting, but it was
a lot of editing first.
I think I still have some of the recordings.
We should really post those.
That's an idea. They are... Oh my goodness, I was so annoyed with you.
Well, so what happened is that Kenny would invite me over to his house, and we would read the entire... We had to format the book into a... not a readable thing, but a speakable thing, which are two different things.
I think I sent you a copy of... I think I sent you a copy of like all of the lines, but I don't think I labeled any of the characters.
Yeah, so I had to go through and format it like a script, like a movie script.
If we do book 2, which hopefully we do, I'm going to try to label the characters next time.
Yeah, well, either way, it was a lot of work. I remember doing some of it at my job because I was just so sick and tired. I was like, I had Casa, Agape, narrator, Casa, Agape, narrator.
All for him to sit down with me and me to look at the thing and say, so-and-so didn't say that line.
Yeah, well, but yeah, we had to, and we read through that script like what, 10 different times.
I think the whole way through it was maybe 2 or 3. However, we had to take multiple sessions.
Yes.
So that was probably, I'd say about 10 sessions or so.
Yeah.
More than likely. So it took a lot. It took a long time.
And then we finally got down to where we were happy. And then we can actually start casting for the project.
I will say those recordings, or if we have them...
yeah, we should definitely post those.
There was a lot of singing.
There's a lot of singing.
There was a lot of me being very annoyed with singing and voices, and then me just giving in and making stupid voices as well. We are professionals here. We always do the best professionally as we can, and that includes having a bit of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, casting.
We had never done casting before.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so explain that process.
Yeah, the process was that we got our what did we do?
We set up a form for casting.
The form. You set up a lot of the form. No, we did it together.
Yeah, we did that together.
Yeah.
And then we sent it out to my vast network.
Yes, he has a lot of music friends.
Yes, I've got a lot of musical friends, and then you sent it out several places as well.
A few places here. So I put it on my blog. Mm-hmm. So that was there.
Blog description in the bottom.
Yeah. kabechtel.com. If you want to type it. But I put it in my blog, and yeah, it was like very nicely composed, and then we had a link to the form, and then we just kind of posted it on all of our like socials,
and we got a really pretty good response.
I was genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I'm sometimes a pessimist, so I was like,
I've been genuinely surprised throughout this entire thing, actually, of how willing people are to support a project like this.
We got like, I think, Oh man, I don't even know off the top of my head. I think it was like 80. Was
80
it
different,
100?
yeah, about 80 different people.
Yeah.
That were interested in coming in.
Now, not all of them actually.
Not all of them came, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, but a good chunk sent us like the voices, the readings of the lines. A good chunk came in for
in person.
In person.
That
as
was
well.
fun at the SRCC, the Susquehanna River Creative Conspiracy.
Yeah, very fun. Yeah, it was good to get to meet people. I remember I made some cookies with my sourdough starter that I no longer have because I actually killed my sourdough starter. I was sad. But the cookies were so good. Yeah, the casting went very well.
Yeah, we kind of knew, except for the one of the characters, who we wanted for what.
Yeah.
Yes, and I already had my I want this person as this person. Like I wanted Dan Griffin as Iaddash.
Yeah.
And I wanted John Milosich as Agar.
Well, I think no, that one was a little different. We weren't exactly sure because there was a toss.
Well, I wanted it.
But I remember when John started talking, I was just like mesmerized. I was like, this is Agar. As soon as he said the lines, like the passion, and he was able to get like the raw, like furiousness of Agar, like
nobody's business. He's a great actor.
He did it,
yeah.
and we were basically completely sold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we started recording the trailer.
Yeah.
Which you saw earlier.
That was more you're doing. I was sitting back at that point.
Yeah, so we used the SRCC, and once again, a big shout out to the SRCC.
Big shout out.
Because we probably wouldn't have had this without them. We recorded our lines there with the lines that you hear in the trailer. I mean, obviously in the trailer you can also see some of the actual recordings of those lines, and that was a bunch of fun.
Got a sword as well.
We have a sword from Dan Griffin that he lent us, machine. And a fog machine that
the fog machine was difficult to operate and make it look exactly like we wanted,
but such is the life.
We got pretty close.
We got pretty close. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Very cool learning curve. We used this exact camera to record all of it, or at least those sections of it.
Yeah.
And I was really happy with the shots we got of the book. Like actually, literally bringing the words to life with the voice actors is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now we started promoting it. Our Kickstarter went off on April 15th.
April 15th, 14th.
Yeah, whatever.
15th, I think it was. Yeah.
And we've done decently well. Again, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And now it's just a grind to the finish.
Yeah,
Talk about the
still got a ways to go.
Yes.
But we're doing pretty well.
At the time of this recording,
very grateful, very blessed. So, yeah.
So, for any of those looking to make their own Kickstarter and to work up to something like this, what would you say to them?
What would you say to them, Cory?
I would say to write your pitch very well and prepare to cold call or cold message a lot of people.
Cold messaging is a lot. Hey, if anyone's watching this and I have sent you a message, first off, please support us. And second off,
we're sorry.
If you did support us, thank you. And third off, we are sorry. Kind of. Because ultimately, like, this is something that's something that I had to
get over.
I hate selling things so much, which is bad if you're an author and you hate selling things.
But also, we live in America and it's overconsumption all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're trying to make something cool. And I'm sure I'll get into this later about how I believe that the culture is becoming stagnant.
Yeah, I want to hear more about that then.
And but yeah, to anybody that wants to do this, like really, Kickstarter is a great way to do it. And not only does the own website promote your stuff, but you also get a chance to reconnect with people that you maybe haven't connected with over in a while, and you get to really get down to what you're doing and why people should support it. And I think that's really important for anybody trying to sell an original product.
Yeah. I'll tell you my method that I've been using. Yeah, so some of the avenues that I've used for just the promotion of the Kickstarter, a little bit of Instagram, or a lot of Instagram, but differently so than I'm using Facebook. Facebook, which I've been trying not to use as much Facebook, but this month I've been using a lot. But Facebook is a good place where I've just been using Facebook Messenger and
Messenger.
going down the list. Not everyone has received a message, and probably not everyone will, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, would this person be interested? Would this person be interested? Some people, though, I do message who I think they might not be interested, and sometimes they are. Yeah, which is really cool.
Don't have any preconceived notions when you do this. I just say send them indiscriminately. And if people get annoyed, whatever.
Yeah. And hey, if you want a message, if you want to support, you just reach out too. Because we'd love any support.
Yeah, all socials will be in the bottom. As well.
So that was one of the major avenues, and I'm still doing that. I'm still going down the list.
Yeah, me too.
And another thing that I've been trying to do is, and I still have to do it today, but I've been trying to post something on Instagram every day with like a link to the audio drama Kickstarter. We did take some cool videos.
Yes, we did some really cool social media.
We got some more coming as well. I'm
very funny ones.
I'm very excited for one of them. I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
And then but we've also we've got some pictures of like the books. I've been putting some concept arts out there. Concept art that I've drawn. Some of them would have been in high school. Some of them would have been in college. That's about. I've been doing that. What else have we been doing? My blog. I'm trying to do a blog. That one doesn't get as much traction, but I still think it's important.
Yeah, it's still important.
All of this put together, though, every single day there's something that I'm doing. Because we got 30 days to raise what we need. And for me, I try to keep it different so that it's not the same thing every day. It's like, hey, it's this. Hey, it's this. Hey, it's this. Like, hey, it's this, but check this part of it out.
Yep.
Like, hey, it's this, but this video's funny. Hey, it's this, but this is talking a little bit about my experience. Hey, it's this, but I'm using the camera and talking to this time. Hey, it's a concept art. Hey, it's something different every day, all pointing to the same thing.
So with that said, what part of your book is your favorite part?
What part is the book? That's a good question.
Because I can answer my
portion. I'm looking. I think I have an idea. It depends. I will go by the chapter names. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone too much. One of my favorite parts is one called "In the Mist of Iaddash." That one is a very, very nice chapter, which I think certain things start to become really obvious to what Casa is supposed to be. But also one that I just really like a lot. I will spoil a slight bit of this one. It is the Knight's Test. That is the one where it's the part where Casa and Agape go and fight a big old dragon, a big old rock dragon. We actually, speaking of the creative process, one thing we missed and we haven't said yet, even before we went through the whole script, I made a mini script. And we had a test run with a few people.
That's right. Yeah.
One of which is actually still in the cast.
Part of it. Yeah.
Tyrus Twine.
Yeah.
He's one of my best buds. So he got to come in, and then we had.
We did that at LBC. There's radio studio there. Yep.
Yeah, it was very nice. We even have like an old promotional video that we have not used and probably will not use. But that was a lot of fun. But why was I saying that? Because we actually did do an audio thing of the Knight's Test.
Of that chapter, yeah.
Which is a really fun chapter. At some point, whether this succeeds or not, I'll probably do the I'll release that at some point, but the quality of that is not going to be on the same par as
the
with
trailer,
what Cory's
yeah.
doing. With the trailer, first off, but with what Cory's doing, because that was me trying to like splice the stuff. You were helping.
That
with
was all
recording.
him. I just helped record it.
I was just trying to splice it, and that's not my thing. I'm a writer. Cory is so much better with that stuff, and if you judge it by the trailer, and you should, it's gonna be even so much better because it's gonna be like the voice and another voice and another voice. It's gonna be so cool. So, but that was a test run.
Yes.
And I chose that chapter because it's a good action chapter. It's a good.
It's got comedy. It's got all the
comedy.
things.
You get to see some more of the characters as well.
More personality.
Yeah, I really like that chapter a lot. But I think in the midst of Iaddash, that kind of is where everything starts to come together. What's yours?
I think my favorite is actually the opening. Because it mirrors the biblical story of Samuel and Eli.
Okay.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? Because
not as much, but I see why you're saying
see why
that.
you say that?
I like that thought.
Yeah, because in the biblical story, God calls out Samuel, and Samuel wakes up and says, "Who's calling me, Master? Eli, are you calling me? No, go back to bed." And that's kind of basically what happens.
Interesting.
A little bit, where God, Iaddash, calls out Agape, and Agape's like, eh.
That's actually true.
Yeah. Agape, and Agape's like, what?
So I've almost seen not as much as that. I just the visual of like a green mist rising.
That visual too is really cool.
That's what got me. But then honestly, I'm reading through like Genesis and stuff like that, and you see like a mist rising, like a big hovering over the face of the earth, and like that's how like God creates and all of that. From like the first few chapters of Genesis, it's a really cool, beautiful picture. I think the mist idea might have come from that. Probably. I don't know exactly where the mist idea came from. I think it might have been from that. Also, the coming from the ground is just kind of a unique thing. Because, you know, you always think of like, oh, God's coming from above. And it's like, yeah, but God's like all present. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, so I took that idea. But I never really thought of the Eli thing as much, which is an interesting. I like that.
Yeah,
it's not my intention, but I love that connection. Because I mean, I've read the story, so maybe back in my mind did draw something. I don't know.
All right, now that I've asked Kenny some questions, he's going to ask me some questions. We're going to kind of go back and forth on, just different things of what we're doing related to this project, maybe not related to this project.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, my first question is, I thought of this one on the drive here. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to lose one of your legs in a farming accident,
I already know this. It's my left leg. I've already been through this many times. It's not. It's as a musician specifically.
Tell me more.
Well, if I had to lose any limb, just to keep it at that, it would definitely be my left leg. Because what do you use your left leg for?
Yeah. Is it for like the pedal thing?
You don't even use it for a pedal unless you drive a clutch.
Ah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Your left leg just sits there all the time, and even for like I used to play the drum set. For that, it would just be like a hi-hat, and I'm not that fancy with the drum set, so I could just keep the hi-hat down while I play. I feel like I'm right-footed as it is.
Yeah.
Losing my right foot is almost as bad as losing my right hand. I feel like I can get along way better if I lost my left leg out of all my limbs.
Wow.
Than anything else.
I thought that was just a really stupid question that I.
No, I have thought through this.
I'm
several
so
times.
happy that I thought of this on the way here. Okay.
How about you?
I don't know. I've not thought of this one until like today. Well, you got me with the whole driving thing, so I probably would have to say left leg as well.
Yeah, so I feel like the left leg is the most ergonomic thing to get rid of.
That's
if I had to.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully
I'm never in a farming accident. But okay, next question. A little bit more serious now. So I want to just know about how you got into composing and different things like that.
So I've always had a piano in my house. My mother had a piano, and I would play the piano, and that's where it really comes from. But as I grew up in high school. I was drum major. I was the lead in Shrek. As Shrek.
Tell me about that.
And I'm just a very musical person as in general. But I've always wanted to do more and write my own stories, write my own songs. At some point, I even want to go on Broadway. Not particularly interested in that anymore. But yeah, and then there was a college fair at a Christian school, at Salisbury Christian School. I did not go to Salisbury Christian School, but my youth pastor suggested it, and it was about that time to go to think about college, and I did not want to go to Salisbury University because I just didn't want to. And there was a few other reasons why I wanted just to get out of small town USA. Nothing happens here. And Salisbury is a great city for a lot of different things, but music is not one of them. We have Ocean City, which is a tourist town and a very seasonal town, and there aren't really any venues within Salisbury at all.
I think Salisbury Steak comes from there too, right?
No. So I decided to. I went to this college fair, and some of the colleges that interested me were Cairn University. And then Lancaster Bible College.
Yeah.
Lancaster Bible College, I don't know what they feed their recruiting team.
They're
really good. They have a really good, at least definitely had. I don't know what it's like then. I haven't been recruited again.
They'll get you again.
Yeah, maybe. But and then I went and visited their campus, and it was wonderful. It's a really beautiful campus. And so I just went there.
Shout out to the grounds team and the housekeeping team.
Oh, absolutely.
There.
They crush it.
I was housekeeping at one point. They do a really good job.
Yeah, that's one of the...
And especially to the students as well. We know how hard you guys work. Thank you.
Yeah. Having gone to a few college campuses, it was definitely one of the most cleanest and most well-kept ones, for sure. And I went and I auditioned for music composition. I got it. And from a really... silly song that I wrote back. I see it silly now.
Okay,
but
what was the song?
Well, it's not important. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
Let's keep it at that.
Sure.
But I got in, and I've just been composing really ever since.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, what's the next question I've got for you? How about... Well, I definitely remember you saying a lot of times something about winning an award.
A few times, yeah. So after college, I realized that the music industry, you make a lot more money and whatever else through like video games and movies and sync licensing and stuff like that. And at least that's a guaranteed source of income as opposed to gigging, which is not as secure, and it changes on a dime, and then you have to have your voice prepared, and my voice is still in the process of being prepared to do that. And so I went back to LBC because they have this really cool thing where you don't have to pay as much money to get some courses that you didn't get before. And I joined the film, I think Intro to Filmmaking class, and just so happens that the professor, Ryan Giesemann, had to step out, and a local production owner, Bradley Hawkins, stepped in, and he was working on this small project called Night Voices. And he gave us a script, and he was workshopping it with us and whatever. And he showed us some of his previous work, and I had mentioned that I was a film composer, or wanting to be a film composer. And then, so he sent me over what he wanted for his film, Night Voices, and we just kind of back and forthed it. And then he actually had a global competition to who would write the music for it. And some of my friends from LBC entered it.
Okay. So you were competing against your friends?
Without knowing it, yes. I went to one of my friend's senior recital, and he said, "Rejected music from Night Voices." I was like, "Oh, wonderful." Whoops, sorry. So so it basically came down to two different kind of things. He wanted a Trent Reznor, Atticus Finch kind of thing. If anybody's seen The Social Network, they would know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Like the soundtrack from that.
Yeah, I can see that now.
And then they wanted the very Pixar makes you want to cry kind of soundtrack.
Definitely.
I'm not good at the Trent Reznor stuff, but I'm very good
Yes.
at the Pixar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only person that made him cry with my music. And so I got the job. And through many trials and tribulations, we finished the film, and it immediately won an award at the first award cycle I went to in Italy, Milan. I won gold for score. And then it just kept building. I won one in Tokyo. I won one in the Southern Shorts Awards down in Georgia. I think I won one in New York. I won one in Chicago.
Nice.
And then
I forgot how many you won.
I think 6. I think
that's great.
I won 6 awards. I got nominated for 8.
Yeah.
6 out of 8 is pretty good.
That's really good, dude.
Yeah. And then I've worked on other films with Joey Snyder over at York College over there, and one of them is currently in the film festival Venus, which is a little bit of a psychological horror kind of thing going on. And then I released my own, produced my own movie, A Daily Struggle.
Oh yeah.
Which just recently won Best Animation at the Southern Shorts.
That was animated too. That was fun.
Yeah, and that won Best. It won a few awards so far.
Okay.
It won some at the Allentown Film Festival.
Yeah.
And then won Best Animation at the Southern Shorts Film Festival down in Georgia again. And yeah.
Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, so it sounds like you've had lots of years of growing the craft and, trying to figure out which way to go. And it looks like you've found some good places where you can actually really make some good progress and get some awards. So
well, and not only that, but I've also I failed to mention that first project, Night Voices, got me a gig for a feature-length film.
Yeah.
The war film.
Yeah.
World War II Operation Phoenix, which you can find on YouTube streaming for free. And that was turning a 25-minute project and then jumping right into an hour 45-minute project was a lot more than I expected it to be.
Yeah, tell me about that then. Like, what was going from the short bit of like 25 minutes to like a feature length? Like, what is the differences? What is the biggest struggle? And what is like the best reward of that?
So yeah, one of the main differences was that Night Voices had a very particular, Brad wanted a very particular sound for it, and there wasn't really like you talk about Star Wars and John Williams, he's like a master of leitmotifs.
Yeah.
Right? You have the Force, and then Darth Vader, everybody knows. And Night Voices didn't have that. But for this feature-length film, I really wanted to do that, and I had a bunch more freedom to do so. Because the director was like, I don't know nothing about music, you just do it. And I was like, fair enough. And so that's what I did. I created the main theme of the song, which of the movie, and then that was really simple to do. It was a very simple motif, and then I just adapted it to different places, and then I made motifs for different characters, and then I melded them together sometimes, like the evil bad guy and then the good guys. I think it's really fun to do that. And the main problem was syncing it all together, because I had to work chronologically in the project. And if I worked something over here in this side of the project and I adjusted something over here, then all of that stuff would move.
Oh, okay.
If I moved the tempo or whatever.
Huh.
So I had to work, and I made that mistakes a few times, and I was really mad at myself. So I learned different ways of using Logic Pro to make sure that didn't happen again. And at the end of the movie, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then I got hit up a few weeks later, to do a different film project, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Nice. Got sucked in.
Yeah. But it was okay. That next one was a 45-minute movie. That's much better than an hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm trying to think what other questions do I have. Well, do you have any more questions for me, or
What's next after all this?
what's next after all of this?
We have book 2.
Book 2. So Book 2 was supposed to release this year, and it is going to release this year, but it was supposed to release this month, actually. But because we're doing this little thing called a Kickstarter,
Link in the description.
yeah, I've decided to push it back a little bit. We still got to get some, like, the back cover, front cover is done, and it's so beautiful.
It's really cool.
It is really cool. So, my art teacher from elementary school, Mr. Lindbergh, he worked on that. It's so cool. I love it. Like, hand-painted watercolor. It's super cool. However, we still need to get, like, the title up in there, and then we need to get, like, the back text. Aside from that, I just have to, like, format the book into, well, the different versions that there's going to be. So it's going to release this year. I am dead set on that. But it has been pushed back until after the Kickstarter, and then I'll work on that and have it released.
Yeah, so, we should mention, if we didn't before, that if this Kickstarter fails, then this won't happen.
Yes, exactly.
And so, support us.
Please.
So that way we can make cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then
and if it does succeed, we want to do a sequel as well.
Which would be book 2.
Book 2. So the book 1 and book 2 are basically like, it's a duology. It tells...
It's like Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah, like the book 1 tells almost like a completely... It is a full story, but like, again, Endgame, Infinity War, like to completely have it told, you need that book 2.
Yeah.
As for the future, I have a lot of cool ideas with the Knight of Iaddash, and things adjacent to that. I have different drafts that I have written, but all of it is just, this would be an interesting idea right now. Nothing is set in stone. The first 2 are the solid core Knight of Iaddash experience, and I'm super excited for everyone to be able to listen to at least the first one if we succeed.
Yes.
And hopefully the second one. Well, if the first one succeeds, I'm not sure how we're raised for the second one. Maybe there'll be another fundraising campaign.
Probably another fundraising campaign.
Or maybe if we get some money from ads that we do, that's another option as well. But that is what the future looks to be. And again, the closer future will be book 2. And if we succeed, it will be having the Knight of Iaddash in an audio drama, audio book.
Like a podcast kind of format, like 8 to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
But like all of them at least an hour long.
Well, it depends.
Depending on how we cut it out.
I think it was 30 minutes to an hour per episode. It depends on how we cut them up. And it depends on how fast the lines are read or different sound effects are. There's a lot of different things that could go into it.
But the main point is that we're getting something original out there, and then you can ask me that question about why we need original stuff.
Yeah. So you were saying that earlier. Why do we need original stuff?
Well, because the American culture as kind of a whole has kind of stagnated. We keep getting Marvel, we keep getting DC. These are almost 100-year-old IPs.
They're fun.
They're fun, and there's stories, but almost every story has kind of been told of them. Now we're adapting comic book stories at this point, which is we've always been doing that. But at the same time, it's like we can there's new characters to be made. Like Disney is just rehashing all of its old stuff, which is cool, but why? We can do more. Even like I remember the 2000s when like Pixar was out there and all these new things were happening.
Pixar and
DreamWorks, like Kung Fu Panda, all these original IPs that are great. But now we got Kung Fu Panda 4. We have granted How to Train Your Dragon needed to be a trilogy, I think. But we have Star Wars 9, 7, 8, 9. which are controversial if they're good or not.
I have
a lot of opinions.
I have a lot of positive opinions. I have a lot of negative opinions about the sequels.
And like stuff like you know, one of the new IPs that came out last year was Sinners. I don't know if you remember, if you've seen that.
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
It's basically a vampire flick.
Okay.
But it was an original IP, and it had a really cool original idea.
Okay.
Where that music is transcending time, and it had one of the coolest effects musically and visually that I think I've seen recently.
Okay.
Where so the idea is that basically music is so powerful that you can connect timelines, and it's such a source of light that it can attract great darkness.
Yeah.
And that's where the vampires come in, basically.
Huh.
And it has this really cool visual where this guy is playing, and he's playing it so good that the timelines all start to melt, and you can see like natives dancing to music.
Yeah.
You can see Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And all these great musicians all in one place because the music is so good that it can do that.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really cool concept. But it leads to this horror movie.
Yeah.
Kind of
it's
thing.
Different.
It's different. No one has ever done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just don't have that as much anymore. Like Disney likes to play it safe. DreamWorks is kind of playing it safe, although I would say that they're better than Disney at it.
As of now, I think.
As of now, for sure.
Yeah.
But we're still getting Shrek 5.
Yeah.
You know? a 20-year IP.
There is an argument for using old IPs well.
Yes. Like Puss in Boots, too.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Or even when we get to like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that was also amazing through so many pictures. That was utterly great. But we're just but the point still stands. These characters are at least 50 years old.
We need some new things.
We need some new things. And studios aren't taking that leap anymore. And they're making, I mean, we've all seen the, not to be rude, but like subpar writing of recently Disney and then Pixar and some of the others, because they don't take the leap and the jump into, like, when was the last time we saw something as culturally relevant as, like...
I think we do see some sometimes, but unfortunately these days we don't have as... Again, this is an old, tried, true franchise, Star Wars. I watch almost everything. Andor. That one I felt like was culturally relevant.
And it got snubbed!
Yeah.
Everywhere. It got snubbed so hard at the Oscars. It was one of the best pieces of media. Not even Star Wars.
I didn't actually like the first season that much, but I adored the second season.
I liked both of them.
That's great. Good for you. I probably now that I know how it ends, I probably like the first season.
Andy Serkis's speech at the end of the first season. One way out.
One way out.
One way out. And it got completely snubbed.
Unique.
It was so unique.
Kind of story.
It wasn't even Star Wars at that point. It just happened to be in the Star Wars universe. And it was some of the best political commentary that wasn't bash your face in political commentary that we're very used to in this day and age. And it was very well done, taking itself very seriously. And the actors and actresses of the Empire and Andor himself, I forget his name, but it was utterly great.
Diego Luna? Diego Lunes?
Yeah. Diego something. I can't remember.
It's Lunes.
But, and the score was also amazing, too.
Yeah.
So I think we need to bring back good writing. Mm-hmm. And, because there's... Like I say, there's not much of that going around these days. It's a lot of safe writing. It's a lot of, we know we're almost too big to fail kind of writing. And whereas, all of these studios used to put out deep, meaningful pieces of art. And now it just seems like it's corporatist cash grabs.
I feel that. I really think there is a place for old, tried and true type of media, like Star Wars or plenty of other things like Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I mean, I'm reading.
I'm not saying that those are awful or bad, or it's a bad thing.
There's a point that you make though, because I'm reading a lot of Spider-Man. I've read like over 900 now, or almost there, almost 900 Spider-Man comics this like past year or so. And you also see in the comics, eventually they start repeating different things again and again. But then you have a writer that comes in and they try something new. They keep stuff there and it gets good again.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There is a place for that, but I think in the already tried and proven places, you need to try new things. And then you need to have space for new IPs. Like, I mean, think of Invincible. That came out. There's another season.
The Boys as well.
I heard the Invincible season is really good. I haven't watched this season yet. The Boys is another one. I've not seen that one, but I've heard so many good things about that one as well. But, like, there is a lot of, like...
It is superheroes.
Yeah, and
but it's from a different perspective.
It's a new perspective. And a lot of times new creators, like new creative teams and all of that, like there is it's good to have space for the old stuff because it's good nostalgia and all that.
Yeah,
but you
need to continue.
You need to keep moving forward. You need to find something. You need to create new things.
Mm-hmm.
In one way, there's nothing new under the sun, but you can mash everything together and make something different.
Yes, but I always like to bring up the point too, like. What's the newest Christmas song? The most, like, you could think of, what is the most recent Christmas song that everybody knows? It's Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
That's an old one.
It's an old song. It's a 20-year-old song. And then
20 years.
And then what is the one before that everybody knows? The 50s. Like, you get to the 50s and 60s with the Bing Crosbys and stuff like that.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. I never even thought of that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not really progressing as a culture, and there's a thing to say about like, well, there used to only be 3 channels on the TV, and now there's 1,000,005 plus YouTube.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that is a thing that's happening too. But I think there needs to be more focus on bringing resuscitating American culture, because American culture is a great culture. Oh, yeah. We have a great history, like we said, of all these franchises, and then we could just make more. But we have to have our institutions jump the leap with us, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to start this new franchise, and it's the hero's story, obviously the hero's journey. Retold in a different way, and yes, it's a Christian fantasy like Lord of the Rings, Narnia, and so on and so forth. But it's different. It's got different aspects. It's got different lore. It's got different visuals in the book. I don't know how you would say that. But, different imagination.
Different imagery. Imagistic writings.
Yes. And it's different.
Imagistic is the word, but you get the picture.
You get the picture. And we're trying to make this into something bigger. We want one of my plans for this series is to pitch it to Angel Studios, who does typically more Christian media.
I would love
or Sight and Sound hasn't jumped into fiction or non-fiction yet.
No, you mean fiction. They do non-fiction. They do lots of non-fiction.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I get that's why I'm not a writer. They just had the Great Awakening, and then they had
I haven't seen that one yet.
The other one about during the Civil War. I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. That was a good one.
It was a good one too.
Very good one.
It was A Christmas Story.
Yes. Was it? Yeah.
It wasn't a Christmas story, but it was during Christmas.
It was that.
One I think it was like Gettysburg related as well.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
But yeah, But I want to pitch this to different studios to see if we can get this done. And I one of the things I also want to do is bring back canned animation. I've done that with The Daily Struggle.
Yeah.
And it would be really cool because I feel like it would be I'm so sick and tired of the CGI nonsense.
CGI is fine, but dude, there's something nostalgic.
There's something nostalgic about hand-drawn, and CGI has kind of hit its point. You know what I mean? Like, it peaked in the 2010s. So when you have like Transformers, you had the Iron Man, where it wasn't nanotech, and it was like really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
But now sometimes CGI, sometimes CGI doesn't hold up in 2026 as well as it did 10 years ago. And then you get into the whole AI stuff as well, and we do not want to be
we also don't want Knight of Iaddash to be animated in AI.
No.
I not like that idea.
But I would love for American hand-drawn animation to make a resurgence. Not to say that any other hand-drawn animation is bad. Like, we all love our animes. And we love our Avatar The Last Airbender that was made in South Korea.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure that's why it can't be called an anime, because it wasn't made in Japan.
Huh.
I'm almost certain of that.
Interesting, okay.
And we love all of our other animations, but hand-drawn, American-made animation is a lost art. Like, Disney sold off all of their stuff. That they can't even do it anymore. And one of their animators just made a short film. I think it's called The Polar Bear. It's about a polar bear.
Yeah.
And he was an animator on Brother Bear and other different projects, and he made his own
movie.
short film.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's got that American charm. And we could even bring it back to like Fleischer with like Popeye and like all those other like American made animations, and we need to bring that style back into the culture. I think
that'd be cool.
That would be really cool, and that's one of my plans.
Yeah, I love your optimism.
I am very optimistic person.
I want to see things one step at a time, and for me, getting this into an audio drama format
is the next step.
That is my main step. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, I want to make the Knight of Iaddash. I might have more stories to tell with it, but we're talking about original stories. I got a lot of other stories cooking in my mind as well. But dude, if this is able to get enough success, and people like it in the audio drama format, and people want more of it, I would love to see a movie made out of it. And I would love to see a hand-drawn kind of thing, especially. I mean, live action would be cool too.
It would be cool, but I feel
when I imagined it in my mind, it was a lot of like hand-drawn kind of stuff anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine things like a movie in the first place.
Yep.
Like, I don't expect the things to be a movie, but I imagine them like a movie no matter what it is. But yeah, like, dude, I won't call that my goal because I don't want to shoot for the...
That's my goal. But it'll be cool. And it all starts here.
That's what I would love.
Yeah.
And that would be a big wish of mine. So...
And like I said, it all starts here. So if you want to support us, check out the Kickstarter. And where can people find you at?
You can find me at K.A. Bechtel on both, Instagram, Facebook, and that's also my website, kabechtel.com. That's where you can find me at.
And you can find me everywhere at Cory Rosen Productions or The Story with Cory. With all that said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys later.
Glory to the glory buds!